Hey Flosstube, it's Katie the Stash Queen coming to you on this Monday, May the 16th. I'm so sorry I did not do a video yesterday. I woke up not feeling super great and just kind of blah, so I really didn't feel like I could make a video worth much of anything. And then at some point in the day yesterday, I did something to my sciatic nerve right on the base of my spine, and it is still really, really hurting today. It is not very comfortable sitting here on this floor. So as such, today's video is going to only be showing what I worked on this week and my plans for the upcoming week. Q&A and stash-quisitions, I'm sorry, are just going to have to wait until my next weekly video, which should be on Sunday, my birthday. Yay! I have a lot of questions. I have a bit of stash. I think those things can wait one more week if you guys don't mind, just so that I can go ahead and get this done and get off sitting on the floor. So with that in mind, and apologies in advance if I don't seem my normal chipper happy self today, but that's what pain does to you. So Molly, there's a kind of an answer to your question already. So let's go ahead and get started. This was a very, very good stitching week. I didn't have a lot outside of the house this week. Friday, I had a field trip with my daughter to the Dallas Museum of Art, which was a lot of fun. We had a great time, but I had a lot of decent time to stitch this week. So I was able to touch absolutely everything I had pulled for the week. I had no holdovers on my whips. They all got touched. All of my sals got touched. All of my year of starts got started. I'm considering it a good week. So first off was the Magical Creatures Calendar by Clouds Factory, which I am doing on 32 Opal Belfast in Diva from Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, using flosses and silks from Mo's sale. Let me move this needle minder before I show this to you guys. There you go. And here we are at this point. There is May. I did the blue, and then I worked on some of the brown for it. So I'm just going one color at a time to go through it. So it started, and here's the top portion so far, January, February, March, and April. So I'll continue working on that this week. Then the next one is my Postcards from the World from Clouds Factory, which I am doing on 32 Jobelin in Ice Goddess from Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, using flosses and silks from Mo's sale. And here is where we are with the maze frame. I have all of the B5200 done. I did eliminate one of the birds so I can have the postmark lines, because for some reason they didn't chart the postmark lines for this month, but considering every other month has them, it doesn't look right to not have them. So this will be good, because now that this white, the white was the most dominant color in the frame, I think, so I can use that to place everything else now. So, and my little Moulin Rouge. Oh, and then here's the whole piece at this point. So moving right along. I find it easier to do these by color, because I don't have to keep pulling the same color out over and over and over again. Then the next one was the Pumpkin Passport by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. Greece is the location this month. I'm doing this on 28 Jobelin and Ice Goddess from Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, using flosses and silks from Mo's sale. I was amused with all of the guesses for what horse I was going to do, and I ended up actually doing Arthur, the horse from the Girl in the Fireplace episode, who looks white on screen, but everything I looked up said it's actually gray, so I made it a gray horse. And I used some of the base of the donkey, and then the top part here I took from the Storytime Sampler, the Black Beauty frame, and just modified it. So I'm going to have some modifications around here just for spacing, because this is a totally different spacing with the horse. But Arthur is done. So my next focus should be on getting 10 up here, because that's who I'm going to do, since 10's the one that wrote Arthur. And here is the reason I didn't do Susan, even though she's awesome. Her name is Susan, and she wants you to expect her life choices, is because I just did 10 in another frame, or 11, I mean, in another frame. God, I told you this morning. But since I'd already done 11, just in this past frame, I wanted to do a different doctor, and I wanted to do a doctor who's actually riding the horse, so 10 it is. So all 3 of these I will continue to work on this week, and we'll see where I get to. Then my focus for a finished piece is Mediterranean Flavors by Dimensions, and we're getting closer and closer every week to it. So there we are at this point for the piece, and here's where I am. So I got a lot more of this area down here done, some more of the olives done, the purple and the wine bottle done. So I'm making progress. Shouldn't be too much longer that I have this one in my rotation. But I'll continue working on it this week. Then for my flossable stitch along, I'm working on Easter Fairy by Mirabilia. And I'm doing this one on 32 Joblin and Seahorse Shores from Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. And I finished the 1/1 arms this week. And I'm probably going to take a break from the 1/1 because there's a egg that goes right here that matches the eggs down here. So I wanted to get the arms done so I could start working on those eggs. So, and my little Tinkerbell needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. Then I'm still working on the Outlander stitch along. For those of you who don't know, Outlander is a wonderful series of historical fiction, romance, time travel books. They're awesome, and it's an awesome TV series as well. It's just wonderful. Sorry, moved, not smart. I'm doing my Sampler Through the Stones, which is an electronic pattern, and I will put a link to it below. It's by Crown Street Cottage, and I'm doing this on 32 Belfast and Umbriel from Under the Sea Fabrics. And look, more roof. But the roof is almost done. So maybe I can finish the roof this next week. That would be nice. I'm kind of getting tired of roof. And there's my Jamie needle minder from Minding My Minders. He's one of the main characters. He's the main male character in Outlander. Then for my annual Mania stitch along this week, it was a chatelaine week for me, and I worked a little bit on my Tuscany Town mandala. Not nearly as much as I wanted to, but such is life. I am doing this one on 32 Lugana in Chime from Picture This Plus. And here's the progress I made this week. I was working on the blues and such up here in this top motif. So here's where we are at this point. And I got my little crown needle minder from Minding My Minders. I love working on my chatelaines because I love the specialty stitches. I love the specialty flosses. They're just fun to work on. So those were all of my stitch alongs for this past week. Everything got touched. Everything had progress made on it. I will call that a successful week for all of those stitch alongs. Year of starts. Successful week in that as well. I do have 2 additional starts that I didn't show you in the video last week. They were the 2 starts that I worked on yesterday because I wasn't going to stop my progress just because I didn't do a video. So I have lots of starts to show. First one is from the 365 Cross Stitch Designs 2013 issue, though I have found it is actually also on Joan Elliott's personal website to order the chart pack if you want it. It's called Cross Stitch Angel in this book. On Joan's website, it is called ABC Stitching Angel, which is what I'm calling it now. And I am doing her on 28 Joblin in Fairy Flight from Under the Sea Fabrics. I'm sorry for the glare of my glasses. It's just something we're going to have to deal with. So here is the progress I made on that little start. And I have my little blingy floss bobbin needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. And now my foot is falling asleep. I think I accidentally stopped this because I was stopping a phone call and it stopped the video. Oops. So let me try this again. So the next piece that I worked on was my Kaleidoscope Flower by Sampler Cove. And I am doing this on 28 Joblin in Circe from Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie using Margarita Floss from Mo's Sale. And isn't that pretty? Close the voicemail. Isn't that pretty? I really, really, really like it. There's my Sadness needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. This one was kind of hard to put down. Ow. My foot is asleep while my back is hurting. This is just not a good day for me. Then my next new start was from my year of celebrations from the Cross Stitch Needlework magazine series, and I started on May. And the entire series is being done on one piece of 32 Belfast in Autumn from Under the Sea Fabrics. And here's the start of May. And here's the whole piece at this point. Slowly but surely. And I have my Cleverly Disguised as an Adult needle minder from Minding My Minders. Then my next one was my coffee chalkboard, the Janlin kit that I got at Walmart. And it's just done on 14 count black Aida. And here's where I got to when I worked on it. I got a little Starbucks needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. Then my next new start was Needle in a Garden by Just Nan. Now, one thing I discovered when I started working on this piece, you see these lines in the fabric? That's printed on the fabric that is recommended for this piece. Of course, I didn't use the recommended fabric for this piece, but you're supposed to build these vines around these lines, and these lines come into play during the piece. Luckily, it's charted on the chart where those lines are, but when I went to look to see what the color was, it said, no, that's not charted, it's the fabric. So I'm stitching it. But I am doing this on 28 Joblin and Tintagel from Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. And you can see I started using the lines and just doing them in ecru. I have my key needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. Luckily, because it is charted on the chart, I can follow it easily enough. But just something to keep in mind for anyone who wants to start that piece. If you don't use the recommended fabric, you're going to have to do the borders. Then the next one is an electronic pattern that I will put a link to below. It is the Leonardo da Vinci Mini Artist Gallery from Clouds Factory. And I am doing this on 28 Joblin and Twilight Mist from Witchelt. And look, there's Leo starting to show up. And I have my Eiffel Tower needle minder from Needle Nannies. Then these last two are the ones that I started yesterday that I didn't show you guys in my last video. The first one is a Mill Hill kit. It's drum. And here is where I got to yesterday. So just to start working on, actually is that upside down? That is upside down. That's where I got to yesterday. Start working on the drum part, top of the drum. And then the other piece that I started yesterday was the Edwardian Lady number 2. Who is now getting called Countess Alexandra because that is the name that it was put in the actual piece. But here she is. It's from the World of Cross Stitching number 238. And I'm doing her and the other lovely lady on one piece of 32 Belfast in Buttercup from Under the Sea Fabrics. And here is where I got to on her yesterday. Just worked with some on her flowers. And my chandelier needle minder from Minding My Minders. So see, look, Both pieces are going to be on here facing each other. They both have flowers. Yay. So that was my year of starts for this week. Stitch Mania, the last day for the traditional Mania was yesterday. It has been awesome seeing everyone's progress. Of course, I'm continuing to go because I still have the year of starts. But it's been awesome. My wish list has grown so much. Okay, whips for the week. I touched them all. Yay! Wish things would stop popping up on my phone. First one's electronic pattern. It is Pretty Little Chicago from Satsuma Street, which I'm doing it on 28 Cashel in Ocean Fancy from Silkweaver. And here's where I was able to get to. And my minder is apparently Common Sense Isn't That Common. From Minding My Minders. And then the next one is also an electronic pattern. It is Pretty Little Washington, D.C., also by Satsuma Street. And I'm doing this one on 32 Belfast in Shimmering Seas from Under the Sea Fabrics. And there's where I was able to get to. And I've got my House of Cards needle minder. Then I'm sorry that I'm rushing through this. My back is just not happy at this moment. The next one that I worked on was Pretty Parasols from World of Cross Stitching number 224. Let's see, can you see that? There you go. And I'm doing that one on 32 Belfast in Misty Morning from Under the Sea Fabrics. Here we go. Actually, I think it goes this way. Yeah, it goes this way. So, more of the white in that first bit of the first parasol. I've noticed more and more that I like doing one color at a time and finishing up a color in a section before I move on to the next one. It makes my life easier. Then the next one that I worked on was the Princess Collection from Sew to Stitch. Sorry for the glare. And I was working on Ariel, the Little Mermaid here. I'm doing all of them on 32 Lugana and Zephyr from Picture This Plus. And here is where I was able to get to on Ariel this week. Got some more of her skin and her torso done. And I have my pretty emerald needle minder from Gina's Unique Boutique. Then the next one that I worked on was an electronic pattern. So I'll put a link to it below. And it was Princess Leia by Fangirl Stitches. And I'm doing this on 28 Joblin and Cosmos from Under the Sea Fabrics. I finished the crosses on these 4 and started working on the back stitching. I still have back stitching to go on all 4 of them. But progress is made. And they have eyes now, which is a good thing. And then my last whip for this week was Pumpkin Swirl by Glendon Place. And I'm doing this one on 32 Lugana in Cyprium from Picture This Plus. And let's see, come here. Here is where I got to yesterday. Some decent progress. And I have my pretty blingy Autumn Tree needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. So yeah, happy with that. So see, got a lot of stitching done this week. Yay! So plans for the upcoming week. I will continue working on magical creatures, on postcards, on my pumpkin passport. I will continue to work on Mediterranean flavors for my Focus for a Finish, my Easter Fairy for the Flosstube stitch along, my Outlander stitch along. Sorry, I gotta move this so I can read it a little bit better. the annual Mania Stitch Along this week for me, it's a Brooks Books week again, and I will be working on my Spirit of Oz Santa. And here's where I've got, at this point, I've got the stitching done for Dorothy, Toto, the Tin Man, and the Scarecrow. Backstitching and beading hasn't been finished, but the crosses have been done. So I will either do backstitch and beading, which I said I was going to save to the end, but I might not, or I will work on the lion next. We'll see what my mood is. Then for the year of starts, I've got starts for today through Saturday. So there's only 6 starts for today through Saturday since I did 2 yesterday. First one is from Just Nan. It's the Peacock Alphabet. And I'm just going to do this one on a 32 count natural linen. And I have a little M&M needle minder from Gina's Unique Boutique. Then the next one is an electronic pattern. I'll put a link to it below. It is the Summer Sampler from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And I am doing it on 32 Belfast and Anthea from Under the Sea Fabrics. Isn't that pretty? And I'll be using flosses from Moe's. I haven't picked them out yet, but I will be. And I have my little, another one of the Frosted Pumpkin needle minders. Then the next one for this week is another Mill Hill kit. It's Gifts Galore. It's charted to be done, finished up as a pin. I will finish it as an ornament. So lots of perforated paper this week. Then the next one, I don't have it printed out yet, so I will put a link to it below electronically. It's my Tree of Life from Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm going to be doing it on 20 count Lugana. Probably over 1. Likely over 1. Most likely 10 stitch. Haven't fully decided yet, but 20 count white Lugana. And I have a Heaven and Earth Designs needle minder. I have a couple of Hades in my rotation. Haven't started a Hade in a while. Then the next one is one of the electronic patterns that I can't show you. It's Vermilion Stitchery's teacup collection. I'm going to be starting May's teacup. This teacup I've actually done before as a separate piece for a quilt when I volunteered with the World of Charity Stitching. So I've done the May one already, but I'll do it again. And this is on, the whole series is on 32 Belfast in Whimsical Winter from Under the Sea Fabrics. So there's January, February, March, April. So May will start over here. And then my last new start for this week is another Mill Hill kit. And it is going to be the Rocking Horse. Isn't that cute? So those are my planned new starts for this week. I went ahead and pulled out 6 whips as well, since I had such a good week past week. First one I have is Quaker Diamonds by Rosewood Manor. And I am doing that one on a 28 Cashel solo die from Silk Weavers. And here is where I am at this point. Got that big diamond going. I've got a Jamie and Claire needle minder from Minding My Minders. Then the next one is Queen Bee from Cross Stitch and Needlework Spring 2015. It's that one right there. And I'm doing that one on 28 Lugana in Chalice from Picture This Plus. And here is where I am at this point. Worked on those wings. Got my little Bumblebee Girl needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. Then the next one in my rotation is Queen of Quite a Lot from the Scarlet House. And I'm just doing that one on a 32 count natural linen using the DMC instead of the NPIs. So here's where we are at this point. Got my little Queen of Everything needle minder. And in keeping with the Queen theme, what happens when you do your patterns in alphabetical order. We've got Queen of the Needle by Just Nan, which is one of my favorite pieces. And I'm doing that one on 28 Joblin and Fruit Punch from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. Here is where we are at this point. So, yay! And the key needle minder, I believe from Nifty Needle Nannies, might be from Gina's Unique Boutique. I'm starting to hurt too much to really think right now. Two more quick things to show you guys. Rainbow Parfait by Glendon Place. It's the next whip I pulled, and it is on 32 Lugana in Mesa from Picture This Plus. Here is where we are on that one at this point. And I got a blingy needle minder from Gina's Unique Boutique. So I'll probably continue working on this diamond here. And then the last whip that I pulled for this week is my Rapunzel from Joan Elliott. And I'm doing her on 28 Joblin and Isolde from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. And here is where I am at this point. And I've got a Sherlock and Watson needle minder for minding my minders. So that is it. Plans for the week, I'm gonna, if my back cooperates, I'm gonna start working on kitting up for June for the year of starts. My birthday is this Sunday. I do plan on doing a video. I'll get to everyone's Q&A and the stash and all that I should have done this week when I get to that video on Sunday. So I hope everyone has a wonderful stitchy week, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.